flexible as well, but the hair, again, if you want to pick it up first, I think you could really ban out the Lunox, but again, it shows how strong the Lunox is against the hair, and now, of course, back to the drafting phase we go, presented by the official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy A55 and A35 5G again. Gatot Kacha taking out Hayabusa as well, and the Hylos, but for Dewa United, they ban out the Link.
I wonder what is gonna show up for Bigetron. I'm gonna make a wild guess here and say, Phobius?
It's a purple guy?
It is.
Whoa!
What? How is it possible?
Insanity!
Call me Mystic Miracle.
Is the adjustment here though for Dewa, right?
Mystic.
Usually it's the third pick or something we kind of critique. For Dewa, it was the first pick outright. Now with the Phobius out already, what's the idea here? What is the solution? And again, if they want to go for that solution, find ways to kind of enable that pick, because it feels like they're trying to show that Keys is the right idea, is the right decision, and give him a strong hero like the Tsushin. But it came in so late, it wasn't really used to its full potential. So now for Dewa, what's it gonna be, man? The Roger has been very popular. If they want to go for the Lunox, they can go for that as well. Wow. Oh man, whoa.
Harris Terizla. Okay. I mean, Terizla is very good for the setups, and again, Dewa, they think that can be flex as well, but again, the Lunox is up there to really counter the Harith and then Olan again, so basically the same 3 picks as the first drafting phase.
They just switched over to Terizla at this point.
And they go Alpha again.
What? So, are they trying to hide
The mid laner.
what? What is going on right here?
Okay.
Earlier, they picked the Tsushin and Terizla last. So now they show the Terizla. The pick that they're not showing here is the Edith. So, are they maybe trying to put Mueza on the Terizla and then they're hiding potentially the matchup for Soriza?
I think that's whack though, honestly.
Exactly.
Because
What is
Mueza
going
is a
on?
flashy roamer, giving him something like the Terizla. This is a BBB pick for a reason, you know? Big brain below it, shines with the macro, utilizes the Terizla in a way where it's just for engage. You deal damage as well. Mueza is much more of a flashy goal roamer. He wants to go for the Chos. He wants to go for the Ediths even.
Yeah.
Something that can make plays happen. And the Terizla can do that, but not as much. Definitely.
Not as fast.
Not as fast. You know, we need mechanical outplays for Mueza.
And now you can see that they banned the Yve, so they definitely felt that the Yve is a big issue. We highlighted earlier in the previous game highlights, a lot of damage, a lot of bursts as well technically. Best of both worlds when it comes to a mid lane. Very flexible as well. So maybe they feel like the composition was fine. The Yve just kind of ruined everything. If they really think so, this is a bold move because there's a lot of heroes they can kind of do similar things to what the Yve does. I mean, picking up a Lilia off the bat might not be, it's not meta by all means, but you can have the same kind of impact that the Yve has, at least in the same way that the Yve had in game number 1.
Yeah, Valentina is well still available for Super Moreno, or Moreno rather, if he really prefers to use it. Case as well, really likes the Valentina. Now the bans for Dewa, they deem that the Yve is a problem for them, because the Yve, yeah, it was really, you know, making a huge mess for Dewa United. It was zoning out them with the RWMs and the pokes that it provides. And now they take out the Zeusin. Will it be able to see a Faramis?
Wait, they banned out the Juicin. I thought the Yve pick was to set up for the Juicin.
I don't quite get it either, but maybe as Real has mentioned, they might be trying to go for something like a Faramis right here.
Yeah.
Just supplement the whole
The
dive.
balance open though.
Huh.
Valentina ban here? Faramis ban? I don't know.
Always on the way.
Mathilda
Mathilda
ban.
still.
Or maybe they want to fight it in the mid.
Yeah, because if they'll pick a Faramis, this is an easy Valen pick for Bigetron, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in theory, Dewa might want to... Are you just thinking that they can kind of do that? They can win it out in a Nether Realm showdown? Gonna be a Valentina for Dewa instead.
Faramis,
So
I think.
now for Bigetron, Moreno in the mid. I mean, the Zask is still open.
They can go Lunox mid at this point
They
up
can
against
do
the
that too.
Valentina, go Roger in the gold lane, and then go for Grok again. Honestly, I don't see anything wrong with that kind of composition. Oh, maybe they don't want to go Grok because it's too big of an ult.
Yeah.
And there's no need to go for that crowd control immunity without the Tsushin around to really deny the vision. So another tanky engage tool will work just fine for Bigetron right here.
What would that be? Roger Edith? What should they go for?
I was thinking Tigreal, but with the Valentina, a bit too risky maybe. Something with good ults. that can be maybe a bit more aggressive to set up for Super Ken and then the rest as well. If they go and transition to a pick-off composition, they have all the damage readily available. It's Zask and Bufra. It is going to be a pick-off team fight style.
Okay, there we go. We get our answer.
Oh
It's
boy, man.
the Kuf for El Momento for Henki.
Too expensive to pick up a Faramis right there because for Dewa United they do have the Valentina, so they opt for the Zask, who I think still is going to be, you know, it has to be a lot more cautious when it comes to facing off a Valentina. But now Dewa United, they are left with either a roamer or an XP laner, because again the Terizla, there has been signs of this being flexed by Dewa into the hands of Moeza, but like how Mirko mentioned, Moeza does not really fit into the playstyle of Terizla. You need to give him the Chose, maybe the Akai, I think, would be a good option as well, but yeah, just give him the flashy roamers in which he might be able to make a play.
Honestly, Edith is fine as long as the Edith goes to the hands of Moeza, in my opinion, right? Put the Terizla into XP, it's a good matchup too. And they decide to go, oh, Carmilla, okay.
Interesting.
This
So
is
really,
new from Moeza.
really trying to go in for that team fight domination right here. But Bigetron, with good rotations, they don't really have to go for those team fights, right? They can kind of pick and choose the kind of fights they want. So it's not really a surefire strategy either, especially now Moeza, even if he gets a bit of an engage, Bigetron can just walk back. They won't have the Yeave that can slow everyone down, so the pull back away from a fight will be less reliable. But Dewa, they're only relying on massive ultimates to really go for a big fight. It's only the Terizla that can really start off a huge engagement. So as long as Bigetron play around that, they're fine. And Super Luke, even with the difference, the change, is still going for that flicker, man. No need for the vengeance, in his opinion.
3 purifies in the hands of Dewa United. They look to purify their record against Bigetron Alpha. So far it has been a one-sided game, but will they be able to turn it around? It is game number 2 of Bigetron Alpha against Dewa United.
Let's see if it's going to be a 2-0 clean sweep or if Dewa United can push Bigetron Alpha back. So far, Luke actually deciding to take the aggressive road in this game. And this game we actually see a different pathing style for Super Ken, starting on the purple, maneuvering to the bottom side of the map.
Wonder if he has a secret plan right here to go for a steal, maybe a bit of an invade, if he's predicting that the Litho is what Dewa have in their eyes. Whoa, look at this though, Azura.
Already getting bullied just a bit. Oh, not just a bit, that's a lot of damage.
Ton damage. And look at that. Both junglers still on the bottom side as we take a look at the emblems. Still showing vitality, but Super Luke and Sorizo, man, both with the Festival of Blood and the Brave Smite with the agility, it's all about laning, sustaining, and getting out afterwards. As you can see, Eman. So on the Lunox, he's just a lot more comfortable, it seems like. Master Assassin as well, the Assassin emblem. So the early game, it's got to be so difficult for Azura to try and match it. And Bigetron are taking advantage of it.
Oh, whoa. They're actually going to be looking for a dive? Keeper retires bench, able to find the pick there. Good CC immune, good stun down, Key to be punished. First blood over to Moeza.
Oof, that was a very messy dive.
Yeah.
They aren't able to get the targeting towards Azura right there. And all in all, Key falls down and first blood for Dewa United.
And even when it comes down to it, the waves weren't really in an ideal spot for them to go for that dive either. Really was a really forced play. And you can see Key even burned the flicker there to try and get that engage onto the right target. Now finally we got a bit of a pause, a bit of a delay here. Can actually slow it down. And talk about the early game, Bigetron. It seems like they're over eager to get the ball rolling. They can snowball really well with this composition, with more ways to try and catch and punish Dewa. But we talked about how Bigetron, especially when they're up against teams that aren't really a real contender for the top spot, sometimes they get overconfident. You think that can be a factor here, Mirko?
Yeah, I think that definitely could be a factor, right? We still have seen that, the pattern for Bigetron Alpha in leg number 1, underestimating their opponents a whole lot, but leg 2, that really shouldn't be an issue, especially with Campina.
The best in the business for breaks and you know, chill time.
Hey.
Technical break with Campina. What's your favorite flavor?
That Choco Double Crunch, man, that is absolutely delicious. Again, you don't really notice that you want some more texture in your ice cream until you have it.
That's true.
And then you're like, wow, where has this been all my life, man?
That's
that
true.
first bite I took back then when we first got introduced to that flavor, that's crazy. That's a life-changing experience.
The texture, you know, opens up your taste buds, your palates, horizons.
Okay, Master Chef, relax.
Makes you, you know, come up to an epiphany.
That Gordon
that
Ramsay.
maybe you want delicateness, you want more chocolate, you want more ice cream. You want Campina.
Okay, Jamie Oliver, relax.
All right, let's take a look at
You
this.
got the creativity, but this was that replay. Again, Key goes with a flicker here, but still lands onto Mueza, and that is just not ideal at all.
Yeah.
And you're seeing again the impact of the 3 purifiers, right? For now, for Dewa, yes, they're limited to engaging only with the Terizla and maybe a Carmilla stun, but for the most part, it's going to be difficult for Key to really time out all 3 purifiers and land his engages onto the right member that doesn't have the purify up right now. And Dewa can kind of alternate who wants to stand in the front, so we'll have to see how this plays out as the Marshal sends us back in.
Marshall will herald the resume of the game as we take a look at Chorizo.
Oh no, not on Chorizo! You were friends with this man once, man! Chorizo, good usage of the flicker. That's an active skill.
Exactly, man. Muscle, bro. Muscles his way out. And just like that, cooldowns are down for the side of Bigetron. Dewa are the ones with control right here, pushing away.
Yeah, you can see that. Oh, they're still gonna go for a Tyrant's Revenge. Used up Ray still with Retribution. Super Loop walking up again. Key's gonna be slashed down by Ray though. As Bigetron Alpha won't really be able to retaliate here. They'll just move away. Dewa with a win.
String of plays coming from Dewa United. Let's take a look at the lead now. Taken over by Dewa United. Again, that initiation towards Chorizo meant that Chorizo is able to create space for Dewa United. Now, of course, MPLID Extremer, it is Colius.
Mr. Elias Andre was watching from home. I wonder who he's rooting for.
Dewa, I think.
Exactly. He's wearing that Dewa United varsity.
That's true. I mean, no bias at all, of course, from Colius Andre coming in right here. We're waiting for the reaction, and there it is.
Hey, hello.
As, amicable as ever, man. Always a friendly dude, Colius.
Yeah.
Fun
Very
stuff.
friendly.
I wonder if he's watching the English desk or the Indo desk. Blink if you're watching the English desk, Colius.
Well, he's off the screen right now, so we
screen.
won't,
Still, just blink.
we won't be able to see it. But hey, look at Dewa, man. They're getting a lot more control right here when it comes down to the rotations and the wave clear. It seems like that Yves ban is really kind of helping them out. The Zask, we all know, doesn't really clear as well. But we'll have to see, right? The longer the game goes, with the lack of burst tools available to Dewa, maybe,
No pin down just yet. Just the usage of the Fracture. Ray actually going over the Spear of Alpha. The stun coming down as well. Key! This is his 3rd death in 3 minutes. 1 death per minute.
he's going the BBB route. Key, man, what is going on, man? Even his ultimate there
getting
gets
killed.
cancelled multiple times. Yes, he's getting absolutely killed right here. And Bigetron, with the roamer kind of losing it out, losing in the initiative, in the tankiness. Now you can see, and man, going against the 4 people is it a bait?
That's some ridiculous damage from Iman. Almost taking down Azura. Moreno with a Nightmare response. Super Ken with a good flank as well. Iman walking up now. K's gonna be taken out before he can even use the Dominators to set Mueza running away. Azura very low. You can still see that Dominator's Ascent being used up as Super Luke jumps in onto Ray, slows him down. Now that's going to be Key jumping in as well. Ray able to use the Spear of Alpha a bit to get out. The penalty zone locks Super Ken down, but he's still able to dash away. Oh, that's the flicker from Chorizo. Now knocked up. Good Curse of Blood, but Iman will pick that kill up, and it will just be a 2-4-1.
Oof, a tug of war coming in from Bigetron Alpha. Again, Eman so confident to just poke down Azura and bait the players of Dewa United to come in. There wasn't even close backup for Eman, but then Moreno came in and then Super Ken from the flank able to take down Case.
And look at the difference here. Even after a big engagement like that, Azura has to be a bit more careful, whereas Eman can just heal up from the wave. That is what makes the Lunox such an annoying laner to deal with. With Bigetron taking the initiative, controlling the turtle pit, the mid lane actually gets shoved in, so now Dewa has a window to try and make a play happen.
Oh, Luke gonna shoot to go onto Mueza. Super Ken winning out in the retreat battle. Key gonna be caught in the bits of the turtle, but I think for BTR, with Super Ken's retreat, they are fine with taking that trade.
So insane right here. Dewa, they're using all the tools they have to try and avoid and ignore Super Luke. We talked about this before, Mirko. A potential way of dealing with the Phobius is to just leave him, ignore him. And Luke, he's just so used to just diving in the backline, brawling, that he's kind of left out in a lot of these fights. He has to try and find the way to be relevant. Maybe stick next to the more prio targets. But look at Eman once again at a 1v4 situation.
Yeah, there should be a free turret towards Dewa United. We can see some rotations, but it is a bit late. Key unable to find that Tyrant's Revenge. Mueza stunned up, getting caught by a bit of damage there with the glowing wand, just ticking him down. Super Ken, waiting in the bush, gets read out. Good read by Azura, but Super Ken, I believe. Wait, did he steal that away? He did.
Sure did, but now Ray will get the purple buff. Oh, look at this Super Luke though.
With a jump, Ray still with the Retribution. Ray has a Spear of Alpha, but that's a Curse of Blood locking him down. Super Luke punished. Not able to utilize the Flicker. Key dying again. That's his 5th death. He got killed again.
No momento there. I mean, it's a very hard game for Key, having died 5 times, and they are giving strong side to the Harith. I mean, 4 players ganking bottom time and time again. Iman not being able to really win out the lane. 1 kill is all to his name. And now Bigetron Alpha, they are in the back foot.
Like I was talking about earlier, I feel like with the Dominion's Descent, there's a chance that Moreno can just leave it there. It's going to be too annoying for Dewa to deal with. And you can see that Keys, he can't really afford to use the damage to try and clear out a Nightmare Spawn or a Dominor's Descent in the middle of a fight. So I thought that could kind of swing things in favor of Bigetron, but from the looks of it, it's just very different. Clear head-to-head by the new application Go Play shows that in all stats, aside from hero pool, that is where Luke is shining, right? Average KD, average GPM as well. But the tutor participation, you can see Sorizo has been active, especially in recent times, a lot more active than when he was in Bigetron. So just like that, Dewa will be able to get the advantage, get the momentum, and finally go for an uncontested turtle.
Ooh, for the first time ever in the meetings of these teams in MPLID Season 14, Dewa is able to take the helm, but Key might look for a moment. All he has to do is one moment. That is what it takes for him to really turn the tides around. But Dewa, they have been so disciplined. They haven't been really, jumping the gun too quick, looking to engage, hastily. They're just trying to bait out Bigetron Alpha to come into the fights, because so far Dewa have been very strong in team fights, but Super Luke jumped on.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be isolated again, deleted. Key, this is going to be his 6th death this game, but he is able to flicker out. Dominator's Descent into the turret. Case going very aggressive penalty zone, locking Super Ken down. Still Brilliance used up. Mueza able to soak in so much damage. Ray jumps in with a Spear of Alpha. The defensive blink from the Dominator's Descent as Super Ken waits in the midst of the bush, might be able to get the assassination, but doesn't have the fracture, so decides against it.
Stands there and takes some information for his team. But you're seeing this, Bigetron, they're not really getting the clear advantage, the rotation advantage. So they are always spread apart to try and set up for the next big team fight. But when that happens, you're seeing Dewa jump on the one person, but look at this!
Mueza's taken down, still able to escape. Super Ken taken down by Azura. Key getting a good tower revenge, but the Purify gets him out. Super Luke with a flicker forward now. And the Infernal Pursuit jumping on the K, zoning him away. Zorizo isolated in the back, but it's still able to shot so much damage. Another Infernal Pursuit, that's another one as well, but a Turbo gets him out. Luke still gets a kill before he gets taken down. Moreno in the bush, Nightmaric Spawn, and the stun down onto Ray, just to stop him from taking this purple buff.
My oh my, the Lethal Ignition is not enough to take down Mueza. And Super Ken misses out on the assassination. Dewa up 7 kills now.
But look at this, Wave on the bottom side pushing, potentially taking out the turret. But unfortunately, Bigetron, they're not in position to try and capitalize on this situation. Key goes in, 1v3 though.
Terrified again. Remember, Key has died 5 times, so he isn't really ahead. Mueza's 2 levels ahead of him.
Oh, that's monumental at this stage of the game. Key looking for a jump in, but Mueza is able to pop it forward.
Curse of Blood into the back. The immobilization. Key, 6th death. That is Moreno falling down as well. And it does seem like Bigetron Alpha are a bit lost. Dewa United taking full control of game number 2.
That is just absolutely unfortunate, man. Bigetron, they're trying to go for a threaten, and then they try to commit, but not really. But Dewa forces them into it. Despite having a lack of ways to try and force a fight right here, Bigetron have been taking some of these fights, it seems like at a short notice, and they're not really prepared for it. Now, just like that, they traded the Lord for a single turret, and when it comes down to it, you have to remember that they don't have the same kind of clearing, the same kind of high ground potential that they have in game number 1. That Yves is now a Zask, and this Zask should be shining in these team fights, but he is not at this point.
Yeah, game fact, but the new application Go Pay. Game 1 against Dewa United marked Iman's debut using Lunox throughout his career, making it the 18th hero in his pool since his debut in MPLP Season 8. It's so insane how apt he is with the Lunox, considering the fact that this is the first time for him to use Lunox in his career. And Super Ken just playing with the Lord and Sorizo just chasing after him. Sorizo so far has been very good, and it's, of course, Mr. Ade.
Yep, shout outs to Ade Satyawan there. Oh, Teresa in the bottom lane, good winner crown. Dominator's Descent used up as well. Syriza with a DPZ. Oh, how does Moreno get out of his situation? He just blinks out. The Spirit of Alpha coming down. The Crimson Blood as well. Superkin's gonna be locked down as he gets a Tiger's Revenge, but Moreno is compromised. The Sask ultimate stolen away. The Brilliance comes down, but it's not gonna be enough to take anyone out. 2-4-0 for Dewa United as they continue to push the pace.
Bigetron, man, they're just lacking the range right here. Dewa going in, getting the burst out, and then piecing out every single time. They're saying Eman in particular. You gotta feel for the guy, man. He several times he's been moving forward with the less the what's the opposite of the Chaos Order?
The blink.
Yeah,
Chaos,
the
ult, right?
The other ultimate, and he wants to move forward and secure these kills so bad, but it's just not allowed to him. He's opted for a Wishing Lantern to augment that damage output overall. He's seeing that a lot of the members of Dewa are going for Queen's Wings. They're not really relying on resistances. They're relying on reduction. So more flat damage will be better. Super Ken getting chased down won't be enough. And he only has 3 items right here, and he's been sitting on this for quite a bit. Not enough damage to really be a real threat to the front lines like he was in game number 1.
Yeah, that's the problem about Nolan, right? We talked about how this hero is a snowballing hero. But once that the Nolan is left behind, it's so hard for the Nolan to climb back, especially when Dewa United is stacking up on the defenses. You know, the Queen's Wings, you know, the Dreadnought armor as well in the hands of Mueza. So now, for Super Ken, it's going to be hard for him to jump in, jump out, like how he did in game number 1. Best he can do is probably play the side lanes, maybe, to try to push out the, minions and play the macro game. But again, the responses coming in from Dewa United has been very, very solid. Syriza also always existent in the side lanes. And for Bigetron Alpha, is this the case of that overconfidence we talked about, Arashi?
Maybe, but look at this. Bottom lane pushed out for Super Ken already. Dewa is only now rotating, and they're making a play for the purple buff first. But the wave isn't really pushed up by Super Ken. He's trying to trap someone. He's trying to lay out a bait with that wave to try and go for something of a flank, but Dewa might read into it, and that is dangerous, man. This is ideal for Super Ken. He needs to go for the backline now because the front line is a bit too tanky, but he's going to be forced to recall, it seems, but he's sticking around.
Yeah, the Lord for the taking here. He just popping the bouncing ball. Super Ken in the flank angle will be able to get it.
Oh, this is dangerous. Super Ken might be able to pull off a steal. Walks up. Oh, there you go. It's a big, desperate play from Super Ken that did not work out. Nice angle, but that retribution, consistent.
Oh, punished by the gods, and Super Ken can't retribution himself. And they get the Lord and all the lanes going. Now Dewa United might look for the window frame to end the game. But, you know, it's so hard for them to do just that as Bigetron Alpha. They do have decent high ground defense.
They can burst down the Lord fast, but the waves is where it gets concerning. Eman
Forced to use a Brilliance there. Super Luke unable to tank up. Look at how tanky Dewa are. All their members basically level 15. Super Luke is so far behind. Penalty zone into the back line right now with 100% used up as well. Chorizo still in the midst of it all with the winner crown, buying so much time, and Mon cannot survive. Super Ken gets the fracture, and it is going to be Dewa United who are able to equalize on the board. It is 1-1.
They rewrite their story. And Dewa United, they don't want to again be pulverized. Bigetron Alpha concede game number 2. It's 1-1 in leg number 2.
Who would have thought? Everyone was saying it for sure has to be a 2-0. Bigetron, too smart, too adaptable, too experienced. But Dewa once again has made this a lot closer than the audience has expected. And now they're really threatening to go for an upset in the first game of Week 6.